And we're live.
Today.
I'm rewatching The Sopranos for God knows how many times now. And I pay really close attention because I'm always finding new jokes that I missed the first time through. Because Tony's got a lot of good jokes that can like really slide like by you if you're not paying really close attention to what he's saying. All the characters do. They're really well written. My favorite Tony Soprano line ever though is when they're talking about when Meadow was dating the black kid. He was like half black and half Jewish. And Tony calls him Jamal Ginsburg, the Hasidic homeboy.
The fuck, you gonna bring home Jamal Ginsburg, some fucking homeboy? Like,
Hasidic homeboy.
Hasidic homeboy.
It's like such a good line. It's like way too smart for Tony. Like he didn't know what a Hasid was like until like the season 1 because they have to go. They deal with some Hasidic Jews, but like it's still just fucking hilarious.
I remember, yeah, he has a hard time doing business with them, right? Like they don't want to pay or something.
The father hires Tony because his son-in-law will not give his daughter a divorce, and the son-in-law wants money. He wants a get to agree to the divorce, and so he's telling Tony, you know, if you can get him to do this, I'll give you money. And so they end up kidnapping this man and beating him for hours, and he's still just like, no, I'm not doing it. I've got principles. Like I put money and time into this. Kill me if you want to. And they're like, yeah, this guy's tough as nails. If we don't end up killing him, we got to put him on the payroll. like he's so tough. And finally, like Tony calls his own Jewish friend, and the guy's like, I told you not to get in business with these people. They're extremists. And he's like, maybe he's ready to go to the afterlife, Tony, but I know one thing: no man wants to live without. And Tony's like, what? Oh, hey, Paulie, go to my trunk and get the bolt cutters.
He's like, I know you don't want to talk, but I'm gonna cut your cock off.
I'm gonna cut your cock off if you don't give this girl her divorce.
How does it resolve?
The guy gives the divorce. However, the father is upset with the way they got the results because Tony threatened to cut this guy's dick off, and he finds that to be like dishonorable, and he tries to go back on the deal, but Tony will not allow that, and Tony ends up essentially owning the hotel that they were in dispute over the whole time. So like,
and wasn't that guy's son like? The older Jewish guy who hired Tony, his son being like, you've created the golem. You've created the golem and we can no longer control it.
Like the rabbi in the story.
They come in there and they fuck with that son. And he's like, well, who are you? The Romans are gone and the Jews still survive. And they're like, Romans are right fucking here. You're looking at him. And he's like screaming at him.
Yeah, he tells him the story of Masada. And he's just like, yeah, where are the Romans now? And I'm like, you're looking at him.
It's like, oh, well, in that case, I apologize. That was I need to rewatch Sopranos again, I guess. It was only a year ago I watched it for the first time, but it's a very dense show. I can see how you rewatching it like 6 times, 7 times, you're still picking up new stuff.
I'm still picking up these little jokes that they tell and lots of stuff like that. I wish I had just like today, I caught 2 jokes that I'd never caught before that were really fucking funny. I can't remember what they were, but like, there's the dialogue so dense in there at times. It seems like it's just a bunch of gangsters shooting the shit, but they're oftentimes like slipping these little insults and like poking each other in like these mean ways that if you catch it, it's really funny.
Like Tony's mom's character is up there. Actually, I won't even say up there. Is better than Joffrey or Ramsay as a hateable character.
She is top
she plays
3
that so well.
It is a show about gangsters, sociopaths, murderers, lecherous pieces of human shit, organized criminals. And she is literally, no joke, the worst person in that whole show. She is evil incarnate. She has 0 redeeming qualities. She is nothing but hate and vitriol and just pettiness, and it's like when she finally goes, it's like, man, I wish it had hurt. I wish that I wish that like somebody had killed her.
Punished her.
Yeah, she never got, she died in real life. That's why they had to write her out of the show.
Really?
Yeah, if you go to the last episode she's in, she is CGI.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you want it. Honestly, I didn't notice it until I read about it, a few years after the fact. But now it's just, oh, that looks like shit. Now that I know, because they take her head from like previous episodes and they superimpose it on an actress's body, and everything she says is something she's already said. Mm-hmm. And when you've seen the show 6 times, like I have, every single episode, some of the episodes 8-10 times, like my favorites, it's like, oh, I've heard her say this. She said that to Junior in season 2. I remember these lines.
I remember thinking, and I've only watched it once, but getting such a kick out of the when Uncle Junior said, like, you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Yeah.
And like for some reason that like hits it
hurt him so much.
Some like formative element of his personality that just struck it like a perfect little arrow, and it resonated. And it was funny because it's like there are things like that.
And he's like, I remember when you dropped that fly ball in the playoffs. Yeah. I couldn't face my friends.
My friend, you never had the makings of a varsity athlete. What are you talking about? I know the makings of a varsity athlete.
He's like, it's
I
not
lettered
true,
in football. Not in college, you didn't. College? Those guys were 6'6". He's talking about lettering in college ball. Like, what the fuck?
But for some reason, Tony takes such offense to Uncle Junior saying that and that's probably because for his entire life, the only like true masculine person he had in his life as like a role model was Junior. So hearing like a little passive remark like that, even from I think at the time he said that he was like not totally senile, but like on that path there. And senile Uncle Junior was a little sad.
Yeah, he gets and they play it really well. But the downward spiral is gradual. You slowly start to see him lose his marbles. They did it really well. He's a good actor.
When I like the whole storyline of like Tony imagining like a sexy Italian woman across the way hanging laundry.
Yeah.
And like he imagines all these scenarios with Carmela and everything. Now we're just describing poorly scenarios in the Sopranos.
I watched my favorite episode of all time today. It's called The Pine Barrens, and it is the episode where Christopher and Paulie take the Russian out to the Pine Barrens to murder him. Yeah. And it turns out that he is a Russian Green Beret. He was a member of the Interior Ministry, and he killed 16 Czechoslovakians single-handedly, as Tony put it. No, as Paulie put it. They were Chechens. Like Tony's like, Tony's like, you don't understand. You're dealing with a Russian Green Beret. Some kind of a Russian Green Beret. He was in the Interior Ministry. He killed 16 Chechens single-handed. And Paulie gets off the phone and looks at Christopher, and he goes, "This apparently he's an interior decorator. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians." And Christopher goes, "Really? His apartment looked like shit."
And then like they're in that like shitty snowmobile thing later, and Paulie's getting furious because Chris won't share his like tomato sauce packet, his ketchup packet.
It's the other way around. Chris does share. Chris is like, I found some ketchup packets, and he like gives half to Paulie, and Paulie's like, yeah, mix it with the relish. It's pretty good. And then like later on, Christopher looks over and Paulie's got Tic Tacs. He's like, are those Tic Tacs? It's like, yeah, give me one. I ate them all. Like he's eaten all the goddamn Tic Tacs. He's hoarded them for himself. Paulie's a real piece of shit.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's very funny, but he's a piece of shit.
Why does Paulie stand out as a piece of shit amongst all the Sopranos?
Paulie is more out for himself than anyone, and that's why he is as old as he is and has still like survived this long. Like, he turns on Tony like to like side with New York when he's being manipulated by Johnny Sack at one point, and then at the very end of the show when the war has come with New York, he just leaves. He just drives out of town. Meanwhile, like Syl and Bobby Baclieri and like everybody else is like down to fight with Tony. Like even if they're not like Tony's even if they're not all that tight with him, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna fight for my boss. You know, everybody.
Yeah.
Even Benny, like everybody's there to fight with Tony, and Paulie literally drives away.
Of his whole crew, like Bobby Baccaliari might be my favorite one because he seemed to be the most of a genuine good guy
who was
wrapped up in this. And it was like, this is just my lifestyle now. But like, he was always trying to be good about it, like skirting little rules, like not being as severe as Tony was hoping. So
didn't have a Gumar.
Yeah. Didn't have a Gumar. Is the only one without a Gumar. And like, so when he died, like, and also not even when he died, the scene where like I could tell the building where he and Tony were going to get in a fist fight. I was like, oh, just keep enjoying playing your game, please. I don't want to see Tony and Bobby Baccaliari get mad at each other. They're my favorite characters. And then Bobby beats the fucking shit out of Tony.
Only because Tony slipped on that rug. If you watch it,
only because
Tony wasn't kidding.
Rug. Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch it, Tony really does. Tony's getting the best of him, and then he does slip on the rug, and then things turn the other way.
The next morning, they're just
Tony seemed out for himself too. Like,
oh, Tony is always out for himself.
I know, but
Tony's
you called out Paulie as more out for himself than everyone else. But I'm not.
Well, Tony's the boss. You know, like Tony's
the boss can be looking out for his people. The boss can be making sure that like this is a successful enterprise. A lot of times, looking out for number two when you're number one is the way to ensure that your number twos are loyal.
Mm-hmm.
He turned the screws a whole lot, and he killed his nephew. And
he killed the nephew because the nephew was a loose cannon. He was endangering everyone. And what really triggered Tony, because Tony's a sociopath, and they touch on this a bit. Sociopaths have most of their actual like loving, like human feelings are directed toward babies and animals. And if you pay attention to Tony, those are the things he loves. And when he looked in the back and he saw that limb had went through the window and into the baby's car seat, even the baby wasn't there, but he saw the potential for like Chris's behavior is going to kill that baby.
Yeah.
And that was it. Chris has got to die right now.
I thought
I
hated
that.
He never did hook up with Chris's wife, did he?
Never.
No.
But he was about to.
He was very tempted.
He was didn't he get interrupted? Am I right about that?
No, they were driving together to go get her some cocaine, and they had a car accident.
Was there not a time they were about to hook up in some back room, maybe in the Bada Bing?
I think it was them doing cocaine together, and it was more like a cut shot of showing Tony like staring at her ass or something. But
they were in the back of the Crazy Horse.
Actual thing where
they had a little bit of a moment in the back of the Crazy Horse, which was her club. But he never actually like it never went anywhere. He was clearly like down. He's not a good guy, Tony. He's a very flawed character. Too. Oh yeah, she was pretty down too. Yeah. He's one of my favorite characters ever. He's great. He's so flawed, and he's much like Bobby. Like Tony kind of got swept into this thing. He kind of took the path of least resistance, but every now and then you see this glimmer of like a good man on the inside that has been corrupted and is just stuck. You know, when he chooses not to kill the soccer coach who had sex with the underage girl on Meadows' soccer team. He comes home all drunk and he's like crying almost to Carmela. He's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything bad. I didn't do anything. Like he's having a moment there where like for once he didn't, he didn't murder a man for, something. That's one of his best moments, I think.
I liked his wife a lot.
Carmela.
I thought she was pretty loyal.
Very loyal. She did cheat on him.
Yeah.
Well,
she was gonna
with a wallpaper man.
But he cheated a lot, and I think she knew that at that point. And she hid some money from him, but he wasn't doing enough to provide for her security,
Well, as far as she knew, he was always doing more than enough to provide for her future, but he couldn't tell her because she'd be an accessory after the fact, and she can't understand that for some reason. So she secretly invested $50,000 that was hidden in the bird feeder.
50 grand is not going to get you too far, Camilla.
He's like, what's it earning? 1%?
It's just mad.
It's a good show. It's a really good show, and it holds up pretty well. Like you could watch it now, and sure, it's dated a touch, but it's good. It's good.
I was gonna say I've never seen it. So.
Oh, dude, you should said something. We wouldn't have spoiled like 18 plot points. It's a great show, one of the best ever.
Whenever you guys were talking about important plot points, I started looking at Hukau, so we're good.
Enjoy that.